Hi there. So unfortunately lost 3-1 to Man United. Your thoughts on the game?
Well, personally, I think we did well. It was a good performance generally. I just feel like our mistakes cost us. I was talking to my friend yesterday. I said per capita. So like, it seems like every mistake we make, like the opposition just takes full advantage of, and that was the case for at least the last two goals. And personally, I feel like the first goal that was disallowed, I think Odegaard goal.
Martinelli, but making a foul.
Martinelli, yes. So the foul on Odegaard. So the foul on what's his name, Ericsson.
Yeah.
I feel like like it was soft, and the game, the Leicester game, there was something that Tielemans did also, prior to scoring, and we just want consistency essentially, and I feel like that might have changed the outcome of the game eventually and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the referee had a really poor performance. Some of the fouls they were making, he weren't booking them. You can see in the first half especially, they were really getting into Gabriel Jesus and fouled him so many times. The referee did nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's something that we need to do as a club or the players. Like I feel sometimes, well, it's better now anyways, but I feel sometimes like we let things go too easily. Like whereas you see other captains or other and maybe that's where like the experience or leadership qualities come into it. Because I feel like those little things here and there sometimes the difference between winning and losing. And yesterday was probably like an example. So like I feel like we need to like be more persistent. Like of course we have to be careful also so you don't get unnecessary yellow cards and stuff. But I just feel like, for example, like see what McTominay did. Basically body slamming. I forgot who it was to the ground. If it was Xhaka, for example, that was a straight red. Like. So those things, like they come together to bite us. But all in all, like I'm happy with how we're going, and I feel like if we continue this trajectory, we would have something to celebrate at the end of the season.
Yeah, so we did really well after coming back in the second half to make it 1-1. We're looking like we're going to go on to win the game, but unfortunately they caught us on the break a couple of times. Do you think it was down to like a lack of experience? We should have been a bit more solid at the back.
And now this is my personal opinion. I feel like. If Tomiyasu was playing what Ben White played, maybe those last two goals would have happened. Now, they say hindsight is 20/20. Like you never know what would have happened. But I feel like he was caught out, and rightfully so. Like when the third goal was scored, then like you saw that switch, and Tomiyasu came in and all. So I feel like like maybe for the next games going forward, maybe like we should. This is the time for Tomiyasu to come back. Ben White has done well, like. In that position the past couple of weeks, but I feel like like it seemed like Man U, and how it is in the Premiership. Once you lose a game, like the other teams start to like basically follow that pattern to see how they beat you, and also like I feel like teams want to start exploiting that flank, and also I feel like if Tomiyasu was there, for example, he's a more natural right back. He would have been able to like cover those spaces and ensure that he's not caught too forward like what happened yesterday, like the two. Rashford goals, essentially. So I feel like, going forward, we should put Tomiyasu back in. Maybe go back to, I don't know who would suffer, like, because Saliba is doing so well. Gabriel, sometimes shaky, but like, maybe the Gabriel White pivot like we had last season, and see how things go, basically.
Okay, yeah, your point about Ben White at right back is true. It's not his natural position, so he's not going to be as assured there as someone that's played that position their whole career. So yeah, big call. Arteta's got to make now going into that Everton game. Is he going to bring Tomiyasu back in? Be interesting to see. One thing that was really positive from yesterday was that we went to Old Trafford. We had them on the back foot. They were at home. They were trying to play us on the break.
Exactly.
They were scared of us. We more or less played them off the park for most of that game. I know it did finish as a 3-1 loss, but it was really positive the way we played.
True. Yeah, and I might sound, well, that's my opinion, but I feel like and I'm not like a coach, or I don't have any badges or anything of that sort. But the way I see that, I see it like like if you have a team playing on the counter, especially at home, my opinion is you're doing a good job. I know sometimes some teams that's like their go-to, like because my idea of football is like the smaller teams try to counter the big teams, as their path to victory. So if you, I think aside the first 15 minutes or so, when they were like pressing. Once we were able to get into the game, like we controlled, I would say, the bulk of the game, and even at the end, we had more shots, we had more possession, we had more touches in their own box and stuff. So, like when you see the final score in no way represented the full outcome of the game, and it's just one of those games where like more like things happen, move on, get the boys, like Thursday, do their thing on Sunday, finish Everton. It's just a small blip, in my opinion. We'll go back to winning ways. That's what I think, anyways, and I hope that's the case.
Yeah, Arteta mentioned it as well after the game that we've got to learn from these experiences. We know we've got a very young team still, so we move on now to Everton. What's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I feel like, Everton now are waxing strong. There's this new guy, Onana. I think I caught some out of the game. I think it was with Liverpool. He's really strong, the new guy from, I don't know where he got him from, but like he did really good. So they have a point to prove. They are kind of going on their own upward trajectory. So I see a tough match, but it's at the Emirates. So the crowd. I was at the game 2 weeks ago, the game with Fulham, and the crowd was lifting the players up. So I assume the same thing will happen. And also the players, they want to come out to correct those wrongs, and hopefully we'll get a result on Thursday. So that will push us further. So I would say we should do the job against Everton. There won't be any pushovers or you don't even have any pushovers in the Premiership nowadays. But I see us winning that game too. Maybe 2-0, 3-1. But I don't think they will have enough to cause us any major discomfort.
Okay, and before that, as you're saying, we've got the Europa League now starting. Not sure what Arteta is going to do, how much of a strong team he's going to put out, and how many of our first 11 players he'll put out. But what's your thoughts on that competition, the game coming up on Thursday?
Well, honestly, I've checked out the teams in the Europa League, and aside us and Man U, I don't think there are too many strong teams. Well, except maybe further ahead when some teams dropping from the Champions League. So I think it's a good chance for us to get something in the modern European trophies, and it's a good playbook for Chelsea, for example. They won that, and the next time they won the Champions League. So it's once you have your hands on that, then you start believing you can do something. So I feel like we don't have a very deep team in that regard, but Nketiah, Fabio Vieira, we saw some flashes yesterday what we can do. It's a good place for them to start. Have the main guys on the bench like Jesus, Saka, rest Saka, let other people come into play, and if maybe the game is going out of hand, which I hope is not the case, then you can bring them in. But let the other people go in, and then maybe as we advance, in the latter stage of the competition, you can start to bedding the others in and stuff. But I think it's a good chance for us to show what we have, show how far we've come, and who knows, might just be in the finals and get something this year.
Yeah, let's hope so. So just wanted to finish with, it's so early days, only 6 games in, but what's your thoughts on where we can finish in the Premier League this season?
Honestly, I think top 4 is very, very within reach. Of course, I'll be not like I would say I won't want the title, but of course I want to be. I like to be very realistic. We have teams that have, that far ahead in their process, their build and all. So, but I think what we have and how we've started. I think we can push for top 4, and honestly, anything lower than that would be a disappointment. I'm not saying anything drastic should happen, but I would say top 4 is very attainable, and at least give a good account of ourselves in the Europa League. So we're talking semi-finals, finals.